Was at home on Saturday the 21st. Having been away before the Aldershot game, has it felt as if you're back into some sort of familiar routine this week?
Yeah, I mean a little bit different with the weather early in the week. We had to train indoors, but that's fine. We're all back on the grass today. It looks great, and we're all looking forward to getting back out there and doing some work.
This was probably one of the standout fixtures at the start of the season, along with the Swindon match, and given where you are in the table, it becomes a potentially even more atmospheric sort of game.
Yeah, it should be a good crowd, but you know, we're looking forward to it on a good run, and as I say, the boys will be ready.
You've been very solid since that win against Southend, which was probably the best you've played. Would it be unrealistic to expect you to keep that sort of Southend performance up week on week?
We try. You're not always allowed to do so. You don't always hit the heights that you want to. We've performed well. We've collected points comfortably in games. It's a local derby, big crowd on Saturday. Nothing's gonna be easy. And if it's, we have to be dogged and we have to be resilient, then we'll do that. If whatever Bristol Rovers come and do, we have to make sure we deal with. We're at home. We have to try and impose our game, but we're in a good position at the moment, and it might take patience. It might take tempo. Whatever it takes, my boys will need to adapt their game for whatever they throw at us.
As you do well week to week, the further you go into the season, is the expectation building both within the club and outside it?
I think the expectations within the group's always been here. We've never shied away from the fact that we think we can achieve something this season, and performances and results at the moment are making that a true realisation, and hopefully we're going to carry that on. But we're not getting carried away. We've put ourselves in a really good position. The group of players have so far been able to handle every little bit of expectation on them, and as it builds, I'm confident that they can continue to do so.
Will there be an effect from Mark McGee being in at Rovers on Saturday, or would you expect there to be some?
I would expect there to be some, but I'm not bothered about Bristol Rovers in one slightest bit. We know what they're about. I'm sure the new manager will come in and the players will be up for it. We know they've got good players. We're not kidding ourselves. But it's about my team. We're at home. It's about us trying to make sure that we're as good as we can be. They've changed the system the last couple of weeks and got 4 good points. Do they do the same again? We could. I can't second guess Mark McGee, so there's no point. We'll assess what team they put out, and we'll have a look at it for the first 20 minutes or so, and we'll try and be as good as we can be.
Were they decent against Crawley last week?
They got a good point. So on a bog of a pitch, the pitch will be different Saturday. By all accounts they were, but like I said before, I'm not interested in Bristol Rovers. The 11 that I put out and the substitutes preparing to come on, that's all I'm bothered about, making sure their attitude's right, and I know it will be. Their energy levels are good and their performance levels good, and if we do that, we've proved with a bit of luck we can beat anybody.
Interesting selection conundrum for you effectively at centre half with Steve Elliott out last week. Keith Lowe played well. Is Steve fit and available?
No. So that's the end to that one. Stevie's not fit, won't play. A bit of a calf strain, so probably worse than we thought. So Keith will play, and he was going to play anyway. To be honest, I was going to play him no matter what. I didn't think Steve was going to be 100%, and I thought he did exceptionally well on Saturday, and he will keep his place.
Is that an injury that you're going to need to manage carefully through the rest of the season?
I think it's something we need to sort of look at. It's the first little injury that we've really picked up, and if he misses 2 or 3 games, then so be it. We've got people waiting to come in and play. Keith proved what an adequate performance he could put in, and he did that, and gives him every right to keep his shirt. And Stevie, his performance made us also comfortable with the fact that Stevie, we could give him a little bit longer.
Some of the fans have been texting us saying Russell Penn's come off in the last 3 matches. Is that hamstring injury coming back again?
No, he's just come off. We've got players who can make a difference, players who've got energy and can add something to our game, and Russ has done extremely well. We've just chosen to, withdraw him from games so somebody else can come on and make an impact. He starts games really well, and he finishes them, but at the right time it's the right thing to do to take him off and protect him maybe. But we're getting to the bottom of the problem with his hamstring. I think it's more of a back related problem, and he's been having some extensive treatment over the last 10 days, and it's not a problem.
Chance of anyone in before Saturday?
Yep.
Good chance?
Don't know, maybe. Yeah, a good chance. We're trying to. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We're not in any rush. But the sooner we're in for a player, the sooner something gets done, the better. Because we want him. We think he'll add something to us. If he doesn't happen before Saturday, then so be it. There's a chance.
Is it a loan or a signing?
Don't know.
If it happens, you don't know. When you look back to Bristol Rovers away, I think that was probably the moment where this amazing run started, isn't it? Where you started charging towards the top
Hereford
of the
at
table.
home, it started, and I know the fans don't accept that, but Hereford at home, where we've against teams who've been down there, we've been poor over recent seasons, and a good 0-0 draw. I know it wasn't what we wanted at the time. We'd have lost that last season. We'd have lost it the season before. We'd have lost it the season before that. We proved we got a bit about us. The players. It was on the back of the Wimbledon game. We didn't need to lose 2 games on a spin, which we didn't. And it was important we picked up a point, and at least a point. And although we wanted 3, we didn't get them. And then we went to Rovers, and things have really taken off since then. But we're on a good run. 1 defeat in 16 league games. 2 defeats in sort of 22, 23 games in total. We've got a real good squad and a good spirit, and everything's going okay at the moment.
Yeah, I just have to ask about the pitch, because it didn't look. Obviously, it's a lot better than this time last year. But
yeah, it's a lot better. But it was the firmness of it rather than the quality of the pitch. The pitch is in decent nick, considering there's a lot of grounds that are just starting to look like it's taking its toll. That wasn't the case. It was just literally how firm it was. I think the pitch will be fine on Saturday.
Yeah, so something can be changed for the next game rather than a loss.
Yeah,
like was last
there's
season.
no way normally Terry waters the pitch and gets it how we like it, and nice and slick. But he couldn't do that because it was literally freezing as we played the game. So that would have been an impossibility. It would have made put the game in danger, and that was never going to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
You mentioned that the Hereford match last season you would have lost that fixture and you'd end up losing it 3-0. What's changed this season?
I didn't say 3-0.
Is there a change in the mentality then? What's changed within the club that these fixtures now you're more confident going into them?
We've got better players than we had last year, the year before that, and they've just got the right mentality. Sometimes you can't win games, sometimes you can lose games, but we've got different players, and sometimes it clicks, and it certainly clicked. You can't if you can't win, do your best not to lose, and I think that's what we're about at the minute.